Hello, welcome back to Walk the Walk, but first let's talk. I'm Dr. Beth Wilson, and today I wanted to talk to you all about a mental health diagnosis that we commonly see at this time of year, because it may be a situational diagnosis, or it could be a clinical, medical, mental diagnosis that we see, which is depression. Depression is a very common mental health diagnosis in the United States, with over 20% of teenagers experiencing depression before they're adults, and over 7% of adults in the United States suffering from major depressive disorder. At this time of year, with the holidays, with Christmas, now coming New Year's, a lot of times people may have a lot of stress and anxiety because of the holidays and everything that is going on. And with that, we call situational depression or adjustment disorder, with symptoms of depression, because it's something that is a lot more short term and isn't something that is suffered from at other times of the year. But today I just wanted to educate you all on some of the symptoms and the things that you might see within yourself or within others who may be suffering from major depressive disorder. So I have my whiteboard today with some of the symptoms that have to be met in order for someone to meet the criteria for major depressive disorder. You have to meet 5 or more of these following symptoms. The first is depressed mood, so feeling sad a lot of the time, more times than not. So out of a 24-hour day, over 75% of that day, you're feeling sad. You can't come out of it. There's nothing you can do to help yourself in that moment. Another thing is less interest in things that you used to enjoy. You played basketball, now you don't want to play basketball anymore. You used to like to go shopping, now you don't go shopping. So things that once brought you pleasure, that you were interested in, you're no longer finding interest in those things. Appetite changes. This could be you eat too much, or now you eat too little. So it could be a change in either direction. Sleep disturbance, difficulty falling asleep, difficulty staying asleep, being sleepy throughout the day when you should normally be awake, or sleeping too much during waking hours. Fatigue, so just feeling worn out, not having the energy to do the things that you need to do or that you normally do. Movements that serve no purpose. So these are your psychomotor movements, shaking your leg, fidgeting, picking, doing things that don't serve a purpose, but that you can't seem to control. Feeling worthless or feeling guilty. So you could feel worthless about yourself, or you could feel guilty about things you've done in your past or things you're currently doing, things you've done to other people or to yourself, but feel guilty about what you've done throughout your life, really, from childhood to the current age that you are. Struggling to think or concentrate. So this could go with symptoms of a lot of other disorders, but when suffering from depression, the symptoms of the depression, of the sadness, of the things that are causing the stress tend to ruminate in your mind. They tend to take over, and you cannot concentrate on the day-to-day tasks that you should be able to concentrate on. And reoccurring thoughts of death. So with depression, right now, a lot of the talk is on suicide. With over 800,000 deaths due to suicide a year, we can't say that every single person who takes their own life was suffering from depression, but a lot most likely were. So the recurring thoughts of death, it could be you want to be reunited with someone you love who has passed before you, or you just don't want to go on anymore with the hurt and with the struggles you're currently feeling. Or you just think, life would be better without me here. I just want to go to sleep and not wake up, because life is really hard right now. So the thoughts of death could come in a lot of different ways. It doesn't mean you have a plan and a means to go out and harm yourself, but you could just be having thoughts of dying. Symptoms of depression, they have to cause clinically significant distress. So this could be at school, at work, in your home, in your relationships, all the different realms of life. You have to have distress that is seen and changes that are seen in your behaviors, in your interactions with others, and in your productivity in those different areas. Symptoms are not the effect of a substance, so it's not because of the use of alcohol. Alcohol is a depressant, so a big cause, especially around the holidays, there's a lot of drinking. So sometimes people tend to feel more depressed because of their consumption of alcohol and the increase in that. So it's not due to a substance. The depressive episode is not better explained by schizophrenia disorder. So we are looking at this, it's not because there's no mania, there's no schizophrenia, we're not having delusions or hallucinations, but it's purely a depressive mood that is hard to control. And there's never been a manic episode. So this is what I just said. There's no mania. So we'd be looking at bipolar if we had mania as well. So feeling really high as well as feeling really low. So as I said, I wanted to touch again on the suicide rates. We have a lot of deaths due to suicide, with suicide being the second highest reason for death of people ages 15 to 24 in the United States. And a lot of times when people suffer from a mental illness, either not knowing that they're suffering or not wanting to open up about the suffering, they don't get the help that they need, and they aren't able to learn to cope and learn to manage the symptoms of major depressive disorder or other disorders that they may be suffering from. And so with that, I just wanted to let you guys know a couple things that could possibly help you, especially at this time of year with the New Year's coming and 2020. We want to get that off to a good start. Just some things to try to help you if you are suffering from feeling down, feeling sad. This might be the first holiday without somebody that you love. So how to get through that. One of the biggest things is trying just to be really mindful of your thoughts and use positive thinking. When negative thoughts come, try to overcome those with something positive. Another thing is make sure you're setting realistic expectations for yourself. Recognize what you're capable and able to accomplish and to achieve. Don't put too much on your plate. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I'm terrible at that. So try to ask for help and make sure you're not putting too much on yourself, because that's putting stress on your own being, which you could allocate things to other people. Another thing is trying to surround yourself with people who will uplift you and who will encourage you, who will be there for you. Stay busy. If you're feeling lonely, you may be a widow. You can try to volunteer and find places to go and serve and help others. And also just trying to be around people that mean a lot to you and keep going with the day-to-day of life. I mean, you need to go to work. You need to be with the family. There's things that you need to do to keep going, to not fall into the pit of depression, but help lift yourself out. As uncomfortable as that may be, it's important to try to keep going one step in front of the other, learning to walk the walk. Wow, when people might ask you what's going on, you can also talk the talk and be honest with them. You can let them know what you might be struggling with. At the same time, how you're trying to improve and what you're doing to just put one foot in front of the other and to take that step towards healing. Thanks again for joining me on Walk the Walk, but first let's talk. Happy New Year, happy 2020. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our page on YouTube and on Facebook and Instagram. And also, if you have any questions or any topics you'd like me to talk about, you can email me directly at bwilson@ithrive.net. And also, if you want to learn more about what we have going on at Thrive Family Services, or you want to learn more about my team, please visit us at www.ithrive.net. Thanks and happy 2020.